telling me it's an eye for an eye. Bullheaded and stubborn, I be that way till I die. But find a nigga with more hustle than me, I dare you to try. And according to the hand on my Audemars, it's my time to shine. So
Should I be sorry for? Who should I be sorry to? Who should I be sorry for? Who should I be sorry to? Can't please everybody.
The wise one, what's good?
Can't please everybody. Who should I be sorry for? Who should I be sorry to?
I grew up in the gutter like a motherfucker. I get there where I don't trust a motherfucker. Seen a nigga snitch on their mom, shoot at their brother. Go to prison in love with a bitch and then nigga fuck 'em. I seen real G destroyed by real suckers. Innocent ladies raping, defenseless babies abducted. Such a horrible truth, but you see it over and over. It's nothing. Get numb to it and your heart grow colder. Pacify your pain with a chain and a justify your action with stacking.
I found a way to do live streams on YouTube through a different app.
Nigga, hold up, switch the flow up. Cause these niggas be snitching so much. I promise all they miss is a badge, coffee, and donut. Go to jail, so what? Never
What's going on?
integrity parents that ain't the
Gary?
hands way. Study my pedigree. Promise I'm one of the only ones who keep
Welcome.
it 100. Probably why I think they all out to get me. You can't convince me.
Mr. Williams. Derek C. Williams in the house. Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. There we go.
Cause I'm in a position that he think he should be given. Listen, dog, the fact of the matter is I'm on a narrow path and we all can't
Should I be sorry for? Who should I be sorry to? Who should I be sorry for? Who should I be sorry to? You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody.
I came here
Who should I be
for the Andre 3000 verse, my friends.
Who should I be sorry
But it ain't what it is, even if you gotta leave. I learned that apartment's way more exciting than a big ass house on the hill. I used to be a way better writer and a rapper when I used to want a black comma deal. Now niggas speeding in the Porsche, feeling like I'm going off a course. Cut these fuck niggas off, niggas living my life, scream that till I'm hoarse. Duck these, get the fuck off, we projectiles, bitch, you ain't really got a choice. I'm living my life, live yours. I don't even like rapping fast, but that's how the word comes to me, talk to me sideways, nigga, that's your ass, slow it down. It's that shit that'll make you call your mama, say, hey, I'm sorry for begging for all the clothes you couldn't afford. And it's the type of shit that'll make you call your rap partner and say, I'm sorry, I'm awkward, my fault for fucking up the tour. I hated all the attention, so I ran from it. Fuck it if we did, but I hope we ain't lose no fans from it. I'm a grown ass kid, you know I ain't never care about no damn money. Why do we try so hard to be stars, just to dodge comments? And it's that shit that'll make you call your baby mama when you don't have a pill. Don't know why, but that's how it is. And you take a flight back to the crib. Y'all make love like college kids. And you say all the shit you gon' do better. We can try this shit again. By the time the dope wear off, you feel stupid, she feel lost. That's that dopamine, I mean dopamine. You think Cupid done want off. Waking in the hallway with a arm cross. Baby boy face full of applesauce. Maybe should've stayed, but it ain't your fault. Too much pressure, I feel low. I'm sorry. Too young and had to choose between you and what the rest of the world might offer me. Shit, what would you do? But I'd probably do it differently, give seconds a chance. Only if some cool ass older man would have let me know in advance. This quarry that is dug so deep in a father's chest when he feel that he's broken up his nest and he figured shit he was just doing the best that he could, which ended up being the worst that he could. And all some pussy nigga on the internet can say if that verse ain't good. It's boring, really. When I'm disgusted with this world, I can hardly breathe and told so many lies, don't know what to believe. I disgusted with this girl and this is what she said. She said, lay down, baby, rest your weary head. Lovely distraction, but my mind don't wanna rest, but my body disagrees, so it laid upon the breast, yes. Oh, you so fucking fine. I woke up the next morning with no purpose on my mind.
What's good, folkers? What's crack-a-lackin'? Well, how's everybody doing? Well, got some news that most people aren't going to hear from the mainstream media, all right, regarding 5G. There are a number of cities in California that are fighting the installation of 5G for health reasons, for aesthetic reasons. YouTube sent me a notification saying, wow. YouTube is revamping apparently. They're going to be more mainstream media friendly. So it is what it is. 5G's been going up all over the place. It's up in LA. It's not all up, but more and more of it is going up. And I gotta tell y'all something. I had to quit eating sugar altogether. 0 sugar is what I eat now. But carbs too. Just carbs, period. I consume less than 20 grams of carbs a day now. And in about, I say 3 weeks, I lost like 25 pounds. In 3 weeks. Just from cutting out carbs and sugar. Now what I eat a lot of fat, a lot of good fat. Beef tallow, olive oil, avocado, bacon, things like that. Some protein and a lot of veggies. I eat a lot of veggies. A lot of veggies, green leafy vegetables, not tuberous root vegetables. You gotta stay away from that because it has a lot of starch in it if you're gonna be on something like I'm on. And I noticed the difference in the way I felt. Ever since this 5G went up, before I stopped eating sugar, when I started noticing that they had the 5G sign on my phone, I started feeling weird. I started feeling like dizzy all the time, sleepy. It was just all of a sudden I would like walk. I was starting to get vertigo and shit. And I didn't feel good, And I was like, man, what the hell's going on? And this, I thought it would pass. But I continued to feel these sensations. And I was gaining weight. I went all the way up to 272 pounds. Just 3 weeks ago, I weighed 272 pounds. And I was like, nah. 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said, this can't crack. No, I can't. I got to change something. And so I eliminated sugar from my diet and carbs, just carbs, like I said. And now I feel better. I feel a lot better. I don't get those sensations anymore. I lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? My exercise regimen is a lot more productive. Because before, I was exercising, but nothing was happening. I would exercise and just nothing would get better, So I put 2 and 2 together. I was eating sugar before the 5G towers started going up, and before I started seeing the 5G emblem on my phone. I was eating sugar, not a lot. I never did really eat a lot of sugar, but I didn't pay attention to my carb intake. You know what I'm saying? And before the 5G towers went up, I was fine. I was maintaining, a certain weight. I wanted to lose more, but I wasn't feeling like crap. Why am I saying all this? It's because these 5G towers are going up and they're pushing out millimeter waves that is distorting the oxygen molecules and restricting intake by your organs. And then other things, it doesn't just do that. It can cause cancer. And I feel like everybody has cancer cells in their body just waiting to grow, you know, just based on evolution. I mean, look at the type of world we're living in now, as opposed to what the type of world we were living in before the Industrial Revolution. Okay, there are a lot of environmental factors that contribute to cancer. Now, it's really not cancer, right? Free radicals. Free radicals can cause cancer, right? If you have too many free radicals running around and you're not getting that good electron flow, then yeah, your cancer can grow. Your free radicals can become a problem. And oxygen is important for combating that, but the problem is sugar feeds the cancer. And sugar feeds a lot of diseases. It feeds a lot of parasites. It feeds a lot of bacteria. Sugar is the ultimate food for these type of diseases, for these type of things that are going on. What happens when your oxygen intake is limited is this cancer can grow. The bacteria can flourish. You know what I'm saying? Your immune system becomes strained, and so yeah, 5G is going up all over the place, and it's going to amplify these problems. And I feel like in myself, it probably amplified something that I had going on. I probably was pre-diabetic because of the sugar. Sugar and other things. I was probably pre-diabetic, and you know, getting hit with those 5G millimeter waves, I feel like contributed to maybe throwing me into full-blown diabetes. Maybe not full-blown, but maybe like right past pre-diabetic. Maybe I was a little bit beyond pre-diabetic before I eliminated the sugar and the carbs. But now I feel great, you know. Listen, 5G is a problem, and people are waking up. A lot of people are waking up in the world, but they don't want you to know that. A lot of people are waking up to the problem of gun control that they're trying to push, right? We don't have a gun problem. We have a gun control problem. We have a 5G problem. We have a Wi-Fi problem. Wi-Fi also makes you fat, by the way. You see, your insulin receptors get distorted when it comes into contact with 5G. So instead of the insulin receptors taking these molecules, the sugar molecules or whatever the case may be, and doing the right thing with them, it can't take it, right? It can't accept. It can't. Your insulin receptors can't accept anything, and so the sugar gets stored as fat. By the way, right? And the 2.5 gigahertz, it distorts the dielectric loss of water molecules, which is very important for your body. Anyway, why is it not big news that these cities, or that the people in these cities, are fighting against the 5G installations? Why isn't that big news? What's up, Vivian? Yeah. How is it? How's the live going? How's the stream? It seemed a little slow at times. So why is it not big news, this 5G problem? A lot of people are having cancer concerns for this. And I'm not talking about just I'm talking about regular people, regular everyday people that they're not going to tell you about. But they do make a big deal. Every time something happens in regards to guns, it's a big blown up story. Right? Because they don't want us to focus on the real weapons, right? They don't want us to focus on the real problem. The real problems going on in this world in regards to 5G, in regards to, you know, spraying the air, spraying the sky, in regards to the fires that are being set ablaze. There are fires in California too. You know, so why are those things not being focused on? Well, because the fourth branch of the U.S. Government, the media, is steering the focus away from this type of stuff. And the politicians, the controllers, who are being controlled by the central banks, are ensuring that we stay asleep. Yes, son.
Can I come with you?
No, I'm just going to, yeah. Yes, son. Hold on.
YouTube Music.
Anyway, y'all.
Sign up today and get a trial of Music Premium on us.
How's the stream? Buffer, yeah. It'll probably be a lot of buffering with this this app I'm using. But you know, if you don't have 1,000 subscribers yet and you want to live stream from your phone, you can use the apps that can do that. You just got to find the right one. So it looks like I got to do a little shopping around. What's up, Stacy? Liz, was good. I'm going to hop out and get some cash real quick for the farmer's market. We'll be right back. Sorry about that, y'all. Error. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Stacy? How's the stream? Am I back? Or am I on still? Son, you got it?
Okay.
Are you snapped in?
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, man, they're not gonna focus on the real problems. They're gonna stick to the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. Create a problem, get the people to react, and present a solution. Present a solution that's going to get them to stick to the daddy government paradigm. And the problem they're presenting right now that they want you to focus on are firearms. Okay, we know that. You know, I talk about it all the time. But they're not going to talk about how these. You know what, man? I gotta say this. I'm getting tired of these veterans that are in politics spreading lies about firearms. Okay, you got Anthony Brown out of Washington D.C. or out of Maryland, actually, sitting up here on national television in front of millions saying that AR-15s are weapons of war, as if veterans don't watch TV and aren't going to be able to call him out on his bullshit. AR-15s are weapons of war. All right, let's come on, man. First of all, soldiers don't use AR-15s. They use M4s or M16s. Okay, I'm not talking about JSOC operators. I'm talking about soldiers, just straight up, you know, run of the mill soldiers. They use M16s. Well, they did use M16s. They use M4s, which have a selector, a firing selector that civilian rifles can't have. 3-round burst. So just that fact alone lets you know that this dude is full of shit and he's part of the problem. Just like your boy Dan Crenshaw. So he sat up there, Anthony Brown, and broke his oath to defend the Constitution 2 different times. Because I know, well, I'm not going to say the first time, but he swore to uphold the Constitution the first time, and the second time he broke it like a big dog as a congressman. Okay? He's full of crap. He sat up there and told you that AR-15s are weapons of war. Let's look at that word, weapons of war. That's another euphemism, okay, for any weapon you can use in a battle. Okay? Let's get that out. Let's get that straight. Because when the Pilgrims, right, the first set of illegal immigrants that came to this country hundreds of years ago, y'all know who I'm talking about. The first set of illegal immigrants, you know, the ones that, you know what I'm talking about. They came here with fire sticks, right? Fire sticks, and they started a war with many of the indigenous people. Their weapon of war was a fire stick or a musket, right? That was probably in cannons. That was probably the most powerful weapon, right? The musket. And what did the indigenous people have? They had tomahawks, they had knives, spears, arrows. When you line it up, when you put the two against each other, who has a better chance? But they used them during a war, right? the Native Americans, the indigenous people. They used arrows, tomahawks, knives. They used whatever they had available because they didn't have access to fire sticks, right? So would you say that an arrow, a bow and arrow, is a weapon of war? Could you say that? Because they used it in a war? So if they use a bow and arrow in a war, that is now a weapon of war, right? Even though it was 100 years ago. If that's the case, then why is it that we can own bow and arrows? Isn't that a weapon of war? You know, some soldiers have sidearms, right? Like commission. So they can use it during war. Wouldn't that make that a weapon of war? But yet we're able to get pistols. No one's saying a pistol is a weapon of war, even though it's used in wars. You know what else is? You don't want a whole squad or platoon running up in one room, right? So you have a team in a room, entering a room, doing a room entry, a forced entry. Guess what the lead guy has? So a shotgun. The lead man with a shotgun, you can just blast, right? You don't want to be the last man to enter the room with a shotgun because you're gonna hit your buddies because the pellets spray out. The point is, another weapon that you can use in war, a knife. Guys, a bayonet or a regular knife, a karambit. You can use that during war. But are they calling that weapons of war? These people are full of shit. And we need to start using our comments. Yeah, so they want you to believe the BS they're spouting out of their mouth. The euphemisms, right? The nice soft words to get your mind off of the harsh reality. They coming for your They coming for it. Hold on, y'all. Oh, I had to make sure the Wi-Fi was off. So yeah, Anthony Brown and other veterans that are in politics, towing the line, spouting lies to the civilians about weapons of war. Are you kidding me? Wouldn't you want, as an individual, as a person, you have all these weapons out there in the world. You got shotguns, you got rifles, you got missile launchers, you got grenades, you got grenade launchers, right? You got tow missile launchers, you got dragons, there are people out in this world that have access to this stuff that ain't you. And they're human beings just like you. They're not more special than you. They aren't anointed. They aren't, you know what I'm saying? They aren't lifted on high by a supreme being. They're just like you. But they have access to this stuff and can use it whenever they want. Or they can call out an order. What's up, Haas? Yeah, tow missile. TO, yeah. It's a military thing. So they have access to this stuff, but you want to sit at home in your nice little comfortable house with what? Just a pistol and a shotgun, and you got people running around ruling this world, as the people were bombing overseas. When you have human beings that aren't any more special than you, controlling when it doesn't get used, I tell you what, I want access to anything like that too. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm not saying I want to blow anybody up with a missile launcher. I'm saying I should be able to defend myself by any means and match weapon for weapon for anybody who might attack me. Let's say we're invaded by no, you're not gonna call the police. The police ain't gonna come for you. Or you can call the police, but the National Guard is really just designed to delay an enemy invasion or buffer an enemy invasion long enough for the full-time military to come back and defend it, right? To defend the nation. But the enemy force is going to have missile launchers. They're going to have grenades. They're going to have tanks. They're going to have fully automatic heavy machine guns, hundreds of people.